2025, baby. Yes, we did. And now it's time to reset, right? We're here in January, and now it's time to evaluate what we did in 2024 and what we're not gonna do in 2025, right? We want to realign ourselves with our core values, our purpose, and what we want to get rid of. That's a tall order, isn't it? So I need me a drink. I got Sean Celestine here, and here on the Nightcap in January, we practice dry January. So did you make me a dry
I did.
beverage?
We got a mocktail today.
What is it?
This is called a Garden Refresher.
Ooh, you gonna show me how to make it later?
will.
I love it, Sean. All right, listen, we have the host of Heart Talks back in the building, and she's ready to get into our souls and really get us ready for this reset in 2025. So let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
All right, let's get to talking about 2025 and how we're gonna take on the year. I've got my friends here who are ready to discuss. We've got Rudy back in the building. You always want to dive into these conversations. So
I love it. I love it.
Prepárate, baby.
Okay. I will.
Seated next to you, we've got Gabriela, who just performed during our Texas New Year's Eve live show. You put it on, girl. Yes, we love to see it. And Izzy Zapata's back, and baby, your 2024 is something to talk about.
For sure.
And across from me is the transformational coach, the host of Heart Talks, Brittany Noel. And every time she's here, baby, I'm doing this. I'm running off set, and I'm like, hold
when
on.
I'm here, transformation happens.
Yes.
So that's what I'm happy about today.
Okay. All right, let's start with 2024. Let's take a look back at what we went through and what we don't want to carry forward with us. So, Rudy, let's start with you, baby.
I would say I went through a lot of not being as self-aware as I need to be to change my actual problems. I feel like I kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm good to go. But what I would do is run into a problem, and then I would run from my problems.
Oh.
Like, I don't have to deal with this. I'm too grown. I'm doing this. I have other things to worry about. And it's like, no, the thing that you're trying to like not worry about is what you need to actually go through to learn from. And I think that's something I have to definitely harness in 2025.
Okay. It sounds like you've done some work.
I'm aware now.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Love a self-aware king.
Right.
Yeah. Getting there.
Gabriela.
I was in my head way too much. And I'm so mad at myself for it because I feel like there were times when I would psych myself out about things and I didn't really go for it as hard as I could have.
When you say you're in your head too much, are you talking about like self-doubt or thinking too many what ifs?
Too many what ifs, so much self-doubt. I mean, being in the field that I'm in, you know, being an entertainer, and it's just eyes are on you at all times. So you get in your head about, oh, I don't look good in that, or I wish I was skinnier, I wish I put on more meat, I wish I sounded better there. Oh, why is this person 10 steps ahead of me? I felt very behind. But looking back, I did so much. I kind of, wish I went back and told myself, hey, you're doing great. You look great. You sound great. You're here for a reason. I think I'm definitely just going to motivate myself more and have more faith in myself.
Okay.
For sure.
Yes. Izzy? Ooh, baby.
2024 was not the best to me, to say the least. Just a lot of internet drama, relationship drama, just mistakes I made on my own. This was honestly the worst year of my life to, the point of suicide, going sober, attacking so many things. But now it's just like the end of 2024, just like one day you wake up and you remember who you are and you put in the work, you know what I mean? So I did the therapy and I am no longer sober, but being sober at the time that I learned a lot about myself, so I am in a lot more control of myself when it comes to alcohol. And honestly, 2025, I'm just going to be a lot more selfish with myself and just get back to the basics, mental health, getting in shape again and stop prioritizing everybody else and people pleasing everybody else and stop making stupid mistakes, sometimes too. It's just a year of accountability and work, and it's about me. Yeah.
This all sounds well and wonderful, doesn't it, Brittany? I feel like they really have analyzed last year.
I love it.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of internal thoughts happening, right? And I think at the end of every year, that's how you want to start. So January should always be prioritized for self-reflection, right? And looking back, because if you don't take time to look back, you're going to repeat cycles, right? So I always encourage my clients, and as you guys are talking, I heard 3 journal prompts. I always give journal prompts so that you can actually start that internal dialogue.
Okay.
And for you, the journal prompt that I gave my tribe a while back was I present enough? So looking back on 2024, was I actually present in my here, in my now, or was I escaping my reality? And we can escape reality in so many different ways. I'm busy, I got work, I got things to do. All of these distractions stopping me from looking at myself. So I love the fact that you're at a place where self-awareness is at the forefront so that you can see yourself clearly. Because the clearer I see myself, the more aligned my decisions are. Right. So that way, 2025 will be a year that you want it to be and not the year that it became because you were running.
Ooh, okay, before you go for Gabriela and Izzy, we're going to take a commercial break.
Let's take a break. He looked
Rudy.
like I shot him.
Yeah, baby.
Right
All
here.
right, listen, I told y'all Brittany was going to come with it. So you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We're talking about resetting this January of 2025. We're in it, but how are we going to make it a successful year? We started by looking in the past, 2024, and what we're going to leave behind. Rudy, Gabriela, and Izzy shared with Brittany Noel, who's our transformational coach. And I feel like, Rudy, you just took a bullet from your
a good bullet though.
from your journal prompt.
Yes.
When you heard what she had to say, did it feel like, oh man, that is some work I have to do?
It is some work I have to do. Like I said, I'm more self-aware now. And you know, when you're, like you said, you have to be more in the present. I definitely agree.
It
and
resonates.
I received that. I received it.
Okay.
I received it. I take it on
All
me.
right.
So
Listen, he said I'm not fighting the process.
I'm not fighting no more.
And Brittany, you have prompts for Izzy and Gabriela.
Yes. For Gabriela, I heard, was I enough? Right? So looking back in 2024, the journal prompt of was I enough is going to ask you to look at all of the ways in which you criticized yourself in this last year. Was I enough always stems down to the places where I feel inadequate due to comparison, due to what I think I should be or should have or should become. Right. And in the journal prompt of was I enough, you start to realize how much of my own expectations belong to me versus those that belong to other people, right? And so this is where we start to individualize ourselves and truly take ownership of who I am, regardless of who likes me or not. Right. And that's a very liberating and scary place to be at the same time. Right. And for you, my friend.
Lay it on me, baby.
The journal prompt I have for you is, did I stay too long? Right? And one of the things that I have heard you say multiple times, especially as it relates to your drinking is your escape. And I think that what people don't realize is that when we stay in environments, whether it's a situation, a person, place, or thing, a mindset, a way of viewing myself, when I stay in that too long, it starts to eat away at me. And so it starts to degrade certain parts of myself that makes it difficult for me to be with me every day. So in moving into 2025, you're going to have to start releasing some things. I don't think that what you have to release is people as much as you have to release the way you see yourself in this world and start redefining a new version of who you want to be and then crafting your world to match that definition.
That was big on 24. It was just, I had lost myself. I don't even know who I was anymore. So I kind of just had to like sit back and reevaluate. There's a point in time you just feel so small and alone. So kind of just, have to get out of all that. You know what I mean?
I think that that's one of the most painful places to be in our lives is where we find out that staying committed to certain people, places, things, decisions, environments, how much it ate away at the parts of myself that I loved, right? And so you get further and further away from the joyfulness, the lightheartedness, the true laughter, to where now I need these Band-Aids to make me feel a certain way. And life is about being able to live life feeling free, feeling happy, feeling joyful without substances to create that false reality. And there's freedom in releasing things so that I can be me.
Brittany, before we go to break, when people find themselves not recognizing their reflection, not knowing who they are anymore, how do you begin to find that person again? Like, what steps do you take to be like, who is the real Izzy? Who's the real Carolina? Like, how do you explore that?
I think of it as, I used to teach it to my combat veterans. If I'm walking along, a sidewalk and there's a puddle of mud and I fall in that puddle, what happens is I'm going to be dripped in mud. So mud is all over me to the point where you won't recognize my clothing, you won't recognize me sometimes because I'm covered in this mud. And as we go through life, we get covered in things. So before I can understand truly who I am and get back to who I am, I have to uncover. That means taking off everything that I put on or was put on me so that I can uncover and find who I actually am. So removing labels, removing personality styles that you adapted out of protection, that you adapted out of the fear of not belonging, that you adapted out of, this will make me successful. And it may have made me financially successful, but my relationships are withering and dying over here, right? So now I have to start stripping all these things that are not me. And that can be difficult because sometimes we have to strip ourselves of things that had some type of payoff. And this is where my alignment with my belief system and my value system comes in, because am I willing to separate myself from things that felt good for a season,
Right.
so that I can get back to who I want to be?
Even though I could still reap the benefits.
You can still reap the benefits, right? You could still get paid from that job, but it's going to cost you your joy.
Oh,
Right?
oh, wow.
You could still look successful in that relationship, but you're never going to be in that happy marriage. So what would you like?
She said, "Pick your poison." All right, listen, y'all take those bullets and stay right there, because we got more Nightcap coming up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I hope you've recovered and you're ready for a more positive side to this conversation. Not that it's been negative, it's just sometimes tough to hear what you need to do to move forward. We've got Rudy, Gabriela, Izzy, and Brittany Noel. Okay, let's talk about 2025. We're here now. What exactly do we want out of this year, Rudy?
I definitely feel like now that I've transitioned into becoming more self-aware of my flaws, who I am. She mentioned earlier that, if you're going through, like your combat veterans, I'm also a veteran, you go through war, you step in a pile, whatever, and you're recovered. How do you uncover yourself? So like now I feel like I'm to the point where it's time to uncover myself, and I see that, but it's like now I want to find who that person is and put that person into effect. So much to the point where I don't have to ask permission of myself to be myself.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you ain't gotta ask nobody permission, but you don't.
Because sometimes you want to, like you say, be mindful of other people and other people's social norms and what they. It's like, okay, forget all that. What do you want? Be that person and be confident in that, so that other people can know how to address you. They can know how to handle you, and you can be living in your truth.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Gabriela?
Definitely this year, being more positive. I think not only to myself, but just with everything in general, and putting 110% into everything I do, not holding back this year. Because I think the biggest thing for me was just last year I was very negative.
Yeah.
So this year, looking at everything with a positive light, not just glass half empty, but it's half full.
It's half full.
And
it's
I think,
full, baby. It's full.
I think once that mindset kind of, all right, we got it, it's on lock, everything else is going to fall into place. Things are going to get thrown at you. That's just how it is.
That's how you respond.
How do you respond?
Izzy?
I think for me, honestly, this year is just gonna, respectfully just be a lot more selfish. I feel like I deserve that. I'm starting to realize there's nothing wrong with that. Just so, being more selfish and giving myself more self-love, it just put me in a better mental space. And I feel like when you're happy, everything else just kind of falls into place, with regardless of anything you're doing, whether it be work or hobbies, anything you do in life. So I'm just gonna be a lot more selfish and honestly just be more present, and do the things that make me happy, whether it's being with my family more. Like I'm appreciating the little things in life now a lot more.
All right, Brittany, do you like these goals? Did they go deep enough? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I love them all. I think that, first of all, each one of you are spot on with what you want. I love the fact that they're not these overgeneralized goals, right? I think most people fail with their New Year resolutions because it's overgeneralized and it's not personalized. So the goals that we stick to at the beginning of the year are the goals that we have emotional connections with. That means I have to know myself and be self-aware enough to know what's actually important. So I always tell people at the beginning of the year, we're not setting resolutions, we're setting priorities, right? So what is my priority this year so that December 31st, I can look up at this year and be proud of who I was in this year and how I lived. Success is less about what I can accomplish, it's how I felt when I accomplished it. So if I accomplished all these great goals, but I was depressed half the year, that wasn't successful for me, right? So life is not just about what I want to acquire, it's how I want to feel in this journey of acquiring it. So I love the fact that you said, I'm ready to live in my truth. When we are in a place where we are setting priorities, I always say set your priorities and then build systems around your priorities. So
Correct.
boundaries.
Yeah.
You do have to give yourself permission. And there has to be boundaries within yourself that says, this is how I'm showing up this year, and I'm not allowing myself to play small anymore, right? So that means every opportunity that I get to show up big, I'm showing up big, and I'm holding myself accountable to
Yes.
be that bigger version of me, right? And I think with you going into this 2025, with you wanting to be more positive, right? I think that acknowledging positivity is a great thing. I think what goes beyond positivity is acknowledging the positive emotions that I want to feel and curating those emotions throughout the year. So happiness, joy, love, create experiences in my life that facilitate those emotions so that I'm not just going from day to day kind of just mundane, right?
Yeah.
If I want more love in my life, then I create those experiences where love can show up and being intentional about that.
Yeah.
And I love the self-love answer. Okay? I'm all for self-love. You know, I love self-love. And it's not that you're being selfish. You're being self-centered, right? Self-centered is when I put myself at the center of my world and then everything has to orbit around me. Meaning, in order for me to have a healthy life, a healthy relationships, I have to be healthy. So prioritizing my own mental health, my emotional health, and putting myself at the center of my life, it will make everything, first of all, you're going to disrupt a lot of places in your life that you're not even prepared for that disruption yet. Because you'll be shocked at what happens when you put yourself center in your life, how many people are upset about you being the center of your own life.
Wait, hold up, hold up. Where was I?
Right, because you know, that's just how it works. So when you put yourself at the center, your mental and emotional health will flourish and your relationships will shift. So just be prepared for that.
I love it. Yes, Rudy, Gabriela, Izzy, thank you for getting vulnerable and willing to share. And Brittany, baby, your knowledge, you be transforming us left and right.
I love it.
We're reset for 2025, aren't we?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right, baby, I'm heading behind the bar because Sean Celestine's got to show me how to make this delicious mocktail, baby, because it's dry January. You stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I'm behind the bar where we are practicing dry January, darling. We try to do it every year, and you know, we've made it pretty far. Hopefully this year we do the entire January. And I've got Sean Celestine here, who's here to do what?
Back that glass up.
Yes, yes, yes. And you delivered a delicious mocktail, baby. See, we don't have to give up flavor when it comes to losing the alcohol, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times mocktails get a bad rap. People think it's just a version, something that they already know, or something that's just juice and a bunch of sugar, so I'll try to get creative today.
Okay, what'd you make us?
So this is what's called a garden refresher. It has a lot of the ingredients that maybe you get in a salad for people that are health conscious, but also the flavors that you would want in an actual drink.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with 0.5 ounces of passion fruit.
Ooh, passion fruit.
I also already muddled some cucumbers in here.
Okay.
Took a while, so we ain't
It was
put that.
refreshing. We ain't gonna do it on camera 'cause we don't want to waste your time.
We got another 0.5 ounces of lime cordial,
Lime cordial
which is lime with sugar.
with sugar. Okay.
We're gonna put about an ounce of coconut water in there. Sorry for the
Ooh,
drip.
okay, so refreshing.
And shake that up.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right, while you shake up, Sean, what's 2025 looking like for
Man,
you?
2025 is all about opportunity and abundance. I want to grow my brand as a cocktail connoisseur and build my clientele, building more drink recipes and menus for restaurants and clubs around Houston.
Let's go. That's a man with a mission and a purpose. What are we leaving behind from 2024?
We're leaving behind self-doubt, negativity, and procrastination. I think those are my three big things. I want to get better with time management, and I think that will knock out some of those other problems.
That's literally my problem. Ask my team. Time management is the worst. All right, and here it is.
Wait.
Oh, we ain't done. Oh, look, they ready though. They just as
After
ready
you
as I
strain
am.
it, we want to top it off with some aloe vera.
Aloe vera?
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, so this is healthy.
Listen, you got everything you need. That's why it's the garden.
Everything you need. All right, Brittany,
Yes, ma'am.
we need to get centered.
Yes.
We need to do our journal prompts.
Journal prompting.
We need to set our priorities.
Set your priorities.
And then set an action plan for those priorities.
100%.
All
And
right.
I'm happy that we have you as our community to hold us accountable.
Oh, yeah, we're going to
Yes,
bring y'all
thank
back
you.
and
Yes.
we're going to do a
Cheers to that,
check-in.
Yes, we
Okay,
should.
we're going to do a check-in. All right, listen. Cheers to a happy, healthy, and successful 2025.
Cheers.
Cheers. And cheers to y'all at home. Y'all better do the same work. We'll see you guys next time. We've got every episode of The Nightcap, and we can go for hours. Download the Fox Local app on any of the following smart TV platforms and get in on the fun.